the Blarney Brass and Reed Band, because certainly since about 6:30 they've been practicing here all on their own, marching around. And over the last couple of days, Davy Fitz has been managing and cajoling these players that this moment, the next 70 minutes, belongs to them. He has analysed the game, and I'm sure Dennis Walsh has done the same. He's come up with a game plan. You can see the Cork defence without Sean O'Halpine, such an influential figure. And Waterford, by the way, won the toss. They're going to be playing from right to left as we look at it here. Man in the middle is from Clara in County Offaly, Brian Gavin. It's his very first Munster final, and we're up and running. First touch, Owen Kelly. Down towards Seamus Prendergast. Tussle for possession. Coming forward is John Gardner. Loses possession. Coming through the middle is Richie Foley. Flicks it outside to Owen Kelly. Had a great game the last day. He's continuing on. First score of the replay. It's this man, former Mount Sion star, now playing with Passage.
Yeah, Marty, Richie Foley, lovely pass outside. I made that comment coming up to the match last week that, you know, that's the type of score Waterford need to be getting, throwing the ball around, having a little look up, and that was great play. We see Michael Cusson gone in centre forward as we expected, and Seamus Prendergast playing in the corner as I thought he would. He's inside on Brian Murphy. I think we'll see him coming out for the odd puck out or whatever, but he's gone into the corner straight away.
Shane O'Neill is gone out to the sideline almost to get a quick puck out from Donal Ogue, but I think the Cloyne and Cork keeper is going for distance. Tony Brown gets a touch on it. Linesman indicates it's a Cork ball. And the linesman is James Owens from County Laois over the far side.
And you can see already, Marty, looking down, John Milan is the only Waterford forward inside nearly in 50-60 yards of the goals. Seamus Prendergast is way out the middle of the field. Stephen Malumphey is back in the half back line, and Milan completely isolated.
Ball dropped in. Good hands. Clear down the field. Dropping it into the middle. There's a touch, just about. And away come Waterford again, coming through the middle. Bursting forward is Kevin Moore. Lays it off. First Seamus Prendergast. Being tackled by two Cork defenders. One of them is Brian Murphy, the other is Tom Kenny, who's back there helping out his defence. Murphy comes in again to try and scoop it out. It's going to be a throw ball, I would feel. And that's exactly what it is. Pulled by Prendergast. Coming forward is Shane O'Sullivan. He's definitely fouled. Free for Waterford.
Yeah, this player really has improved, you know, out of all recognition. He's been on around the panel for a few years, but he had a brilliant game the last day. Very, very strong physically, and that's something about that Waterford forward line as well. He's in the middle field with Seamus Prendergast, Owen Kelly, you know, big men all over the half forward, and Stephen Malumphey very strong and won a great free there.
Well, we've spoken about it earlier. What a magnificent goal Owen Kelly scored the last day. His free taking is pretty impressive as well. 2 points on the scoreboard for Waterford, both of them credited to this man. Great catch. Michael Brickwatch lays it off to his captain, Stephen Malumphey. As always, the hard-working John Milan. Seamus Prendergast is there as well. Last one to touch the slither over the sideline was a Cork man.
Yeah, Marty, what a start by Michael Walsh. You know, the tactic, Michael Cusson 6'7", and the first two high balls that come down, Michael Walsh taking them out of the air, and he's been outstanding since that move back to centre back. You know, it's about 18 months ago. I think it was a league match against Kilkenny, his first match at centre back, and he's been brilliant there.
Richie Foley. It's a good cut, but it's just a little bit too strong. Shane Murphy, named at left half back, but starting as we anticipated at right cornerback. Shane O'Neill from Bishopstown is at left half. Frankie Murphy is in there, so too is Owen Murphy. Sideline ball would seem to favour Cork.
These are certainly ones we've seen Ben Toynton in the past. He hit a few wide last week, unlike him.
First sideline cut, dropping it in. Dangerous ball. Saki is around there. So too is Tony Brown. Out for his own Murphy. A little bit of pressure from Fraggy. Sideline ball this time to Waterford. Dickie Murphy, the linesman, man who's been in charge of 4 All-Ireland finals in his career.
And I'm really surprised, Mary, the Cork backs are following the men off out the field. There's only 2 Waterford forwards inside their own half of the field.
Owen Murphy down the middle towards Kevin Moore. Good hands. It's 1 against 1 up here for the moment. John Milan and Brian Murphy. Milan keeps it in. Shane Murphy. Hefty challenge of Milan. And to Milan's credit, he didn't even protest. Great catch again, this time by left half forward Michael Cusson. Big 6'7" lad. He's giving a throw ball. Tom Kenny coming through the middle. Good stick work. Needs a little bit of support. Frankie Murphy calling for it. Over the far side, it's his midfield partner Carl Nocton. Scored the first point the last day for Cork. He's doing it again 6 days later.
Good play by Tom Kenny there. Won a very hard ball, and you know the competition. Every ball that breaks, there's 4 and 5 lads. Brian Gavin's trying to let the game flow early on here, and a few hefty challenges going in. But you know, I think he's right to try to get a bit of a flow into it.
Tuck out by Clinton Hennessy. Nice little pick up there by Prendergast, Seamus. Out towards Richie Foley. This comes in, and there's a little bit of a push. The referee had blown his whistle. Shane Walsh was gone inside, but the referee clearly blew his whistle. Free taken by Donald Cusick. Aimed at Isaki O'Halpine. Ball given away to Carl Nocton. Turns to his right, drops it over this side, but there's nobody home, I'm afraid. Not in a Cork jersey, that is. Good pressure by Ben O'Connor. Poor defending, it must be said. Michael Cusson is there as well. And eventually it is Brick Walsh. Lays it back for his Declan Prendergast. Tremendous pressure by Cork. Michael Cusson across the face of the goal and wide. Just that particular occasion, Brick Walsh just a little bit lax, wasn't he?
He was. He nearly had too much time on the ball, but the tackling of the Cork forwards, very impressive since the start of the game. We saw it from Waterford last week, and Kieran Murphy in particular in the corner there is after making 2 or 3 very, very good tackles.
Tuckott drops down on Seamus Prendergast. Brian Murphy is there. Just barely kept in play. Batted down for Cathal Nocton to give it plenty of distance. But it's heading towards the square and Thurles, I'm afraid.
Very, very frustrating for an inside forward. There was only maybe a 1 in 10 chance of putting that over the bar. That should have been played into straight on top of Isaki.
Dennis Walsh, I'm sure won't be pleased with that particular effort. Good hands again by John Gardner. Down towards Frankie Murphy. Owen Murphy going back to gather. Isaki comes in to challenge. Gives it back to his fullback, Liam Lawler. 4 Mile Water. Little touch, just a little bit by Stephen Mullumphy. Sent in dangerously towards John Milan. Owen Cadigan, was he holding his hurling? 2 of them are at it, battling fair and square. It's the Cork full-back that's coming out with it, laying it off first. Carl Nocton. Good play by Cork. Sent down the middle, nobody home again. Brick Walsh over this side. Good work by Shane Murphy. Shane Walsh, however, spotted the little illusion, grabbed the possession, is bearing down on Donald Cusick. It's a frontal charge, the referee is indicating, and it's a free in for Waterford.
Yeah, see Owen Kelly pointing at the square. He's maybe thinking he was fouled inside the square. Shane Walsh heading. Yeah, well, I don't think Brian Murphy wasn't going to get out, or Owen Cadigan wasn't going to get out of the way. You know, he hadn't much choice, but I think that foul was maybe inside the...
Certainly was inside the large rectangle.
Inside the large rectangle, yeah.
Owen Kelly taking the 20-metre free. And I'm pretty sure he's going to tap this over the bar. 3 points for Waterford. 3 points for Owen Kelly.
Yeah, Shane Walsh did very well there. A lot of people in Waterford think maybe he's an out-and-out full forward. You know, he's a goal getter, but did very well there. Very clever on the ball and won a good free.
Just getting a little bit of attention is Shane Murphy from the Ayrn Zone Club. Many people feel he should actually be in the starting 15. This is within Cork, ex-Cork minor and All-Ireland medalist. Won 2 counties with his club. So he's coming to the starting 15 with quite an impressive CV. Attention for Shane Walsh is delaying the puck out from Donald O'Cusick. But Walsh is okay. Former dual star, in fact, with Waterford, scored the winning goal against Kerry in the Munster under-21 football final all of 7 years ago. I'm sure you remember that particular game. Got huge headlines. That'll be the headlines tomorrow, I wonder. Declan Prendergast. Nice combination play in towards Stephen Malumphey. Picked out, however, by Ronan Kern. Clever ball, far as Ben O'Connor. Goes for distance, all the way down towards Isaki. O'Halpy, Quinton Hennessy. Liam Lawler wanted it as a hand pass. Goes down for Shane O'Sullivan instead. Tom Kenny, unable to hook or indeed to block. Rebound, falls into the path of one Shane Murphy. Called the possession, it would seem, and Waterford are incensed. And perhaps, in fact, he stood over the sideline, but either way, it looked like a foul as Carl Nocton drops it in again. Quinton Hennessy comes off his line. Frankie Murphy unable to block that particular clearance, and it goes out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Cork.
Yeah, certainly Davy is getting very animated. I said it was steps he was really talking about there.
Yeah, it was steps.
Took 7 or 8 steps there, and right beside the Waterford dugout.
The whole Waterford dugout absolutely hopped out of their seats.
Davy is getting a little bit excited down there. We're used to that, I think, at this stage.
Batted down towards Pat Horgan. Noel Connor's with him. Who touched it last? James Owens from Wexford, by the way, not from Laois. He indicates it's a Waterford ball. Noel Connors, Waterford minor a few years ago, won a couple of parties in All-Ireland colleges with De La Salle in 2007 and 2008. Former college star, and he's making it at the highest level as well. Another sideline ball. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on. Patrick Horgan going over the sideline.
Yeah, certainly no soft freeze been given tonight. He just knocked out over the line there. He's trying to keep the ball in. Wrestled nearly over the line.
Richie Foley wasn't letting him go anyway, that's for sure. Here's Tony Brown. Easy ball for Tom Kenny. Dropping it in towards Fraggy. Runs on to Isaki. Once he has the ball in hand, it's trouble for Waterford. And that is wide. Good chance for Cork here. Isaki did really well, except for the finish.
Yeah, he did, but I think Liam Lawler, in fairness too, he kept him out. You know, he pushed him away from the goals and did his job. It was a difficult angle at that stage. It would have been a great goal to be able to put it over into the far top corner.
Stephen Malumphey obviously has helmet problems from Ballyduff Upper. Brian Gavin kindly trying to fix it for him. All-star, of course, 3 years ago at left half forward. He scored 3 points against Clare, but didn't register at all the last day, 6 days ago. Just in case there is a big problem, Brian O'Halloran from Clashmore is warming up.
Yeah, and this young man, Brian O'Halloran, he did his leaving cert a few weeks ago. He's only back training with the panel. I think he was a minor last year, but he's supposedly going unbelievably well. I think a lot of soccer teams in England looking at him as well. He's supposed to be a very, very talented young lad. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
They're certainly hoping to hold on to him, and his reputation in the Waterford has certainly been gathering headlines over the last year or so. You never know, we might see him here in the Munster final replay. Sideline ball again for Cork. No Cork forward yet to score as we approach the 15th minute. And in fact, Cork haven't scored since the 5th minute. Easily gathered by Tony Brown. Whips it down towards his full forward line. Gathered here by Brian Murphy. Cathal Naughton goes for height again. Down the middle. Isaki is coming out. Hops by him. And indeed Liam Lawler. Rick Walsh is back there. Lays it out for his Declan Prendergast. Takes the hit from O'Halpine. Gives it up for Shane O'Sullivan. Good play Waterford. Confident play in fact. Kevin Moran just got a touch to it. Battling with Ronan Curran. Almost picked up by Shane Murphy. More importantly, it's this man that has it. John Milan. First touch. First point.
Yeah, that's a great score, Marty. Rick Walsh won a great ball out to Declan Prendergast, who's having an outstanding season since coming on at half-time against Clare after stopping the short puck out there, but a brilliantly worked score and a great finish by Milan.
And that started all the way down the Waterford half of the field, started by Brick as you mentioned. Great movement.
Great
well
pick.
Picked up here by John Milan. 4 scoring chances for Waterford, 4 points. Not a bad statistic. Here's Shane Walsh. Well blocked by Tom Kenny. Cathal Naughton low into the corner. Good ball to Isaki O'Halpine. Liam Lawler with him. Lawler has to try and get there. Isaki is there, all 6'7", trying to get by himself and Owen Murphy. Still Isaki. Lawler is down on the deck. Referee blows the whistle. Isaki O'Halpine was travelling, taking too many steps. And I know you can't see it, but Davy Fitz, I know he's 5'3", but he went up 6'7" himself. He was delighted with the defending of Lawler.
Yeah, he did. Won a good ball there. Yeah, I don't think... Maybe 5 or 6 steps, you can't argue with it.
Liam Lawler is on the deck, and the umpires haven't raised their hands, but the referee, Brian Gavin...
I think Brian Gavin saw it. He just told him to get up and get on with it.
A bit of messing around. Loose ball for centre half back Ronan Curran. Down towards Fraggy Murphy. Got a little touch to it. Fraggy again. Good defending by Brick Walsh. Loses possession when trying to get it up under the hurl. Coming through the middle, Niall McCarthy. Referee again has blown his whistle. Dead straight in front of the post. And this should be a score for Cork. "12 minutes, remember now, since Cork last scored. And they are playing, well, it's hardly even worth mentioning. It's only a crossfield breeze, very, very light.
Yeah, like last week, low scoring, but plenty of battles going on there, personal battles that have to be won early in the game, and no easy frees been given out there. So you have to really work hard for your score. Great tackling on both sides. So not maybe flashy hurling, but exciting, interesting at the same time.
Wonder what happened between Liam Lawler and Isaki. Watch the number 3. Oh.
Yeah, definitely went with the head. He's going to be in trouble for that one.
That is not nice. And I'm sure the CCCC will be looking at that later on as Cork have a chance. It's scrambled away off the line. Wonderful defending, and guess who? Noel Connors. This should have been a goal. It was heading towards the goal line. Just a little touch. And just there, Connors got there. Wonderful defending as Pat Horgan chased after it. Well done, number 4.
Great cornerback play. Look, we see it again. Pat Horgan did everything right. Lovely little flick. Was probably certain it was going to be a goal, and Noel Connors dashed in. Great defending and cleared a certain goal.
.65. Light mist beginning to fall here now in Semple Stadium as John Gardner takes this 65. Looks good from here. Umpire confirms that is the case.
Yeah, Marty, I'd have to say he's absolutely having an outstanding year, John Gardner, scoring from frees, from play, but he's defending brilliantly as well. Had a great game here the last day, and playing some of the best hurling of his life this year.
Only has one All-Star 5 years ago, and yet he's 27. You feel John has been around for so long.
Well, Tommy Walsh, I suppose, is there as well. You know, he gets most of them. He's won and won every year since he started playing inter-county hurling, so not an easy jersey to get.
You can't argue about Tommy Walsh, that's for sure. Brilliant hurler. Tom Kenny steps away from the challenge. John Milan and Seamus Prendergast. Ben O'Connor. Good calling. Michael Cusson. Barely kept in by Sakio Alpine. Liam Lawler is there. Flicks it forward. Good play again by Waterford, but the ball didn't hop right for Tony Brown. Bit of a scramble. Richie Foley got a touch to it. Carl knocked it, more importantly, has it in his hand. Looking around, has to go all the way back. Whereas Shane O'Neill, remember, he's playing at left half back despite wearing number 2. And that ball is also wide.
Yeah, Marty, bad wide. But before that, Michael Cusson just, you know, there's one thing about a high ball, but it was a completely, you know, there was no shape to it at all. Just a Hail Mary ball into the square. And Asaki is big, but he's, you know, he can't be winning those impossible balls.
Clinton Hennessy doing a Donald Logue, taking the quick puck out. Sent in by Shane O'Sullivan. Here's Donald Logue. No time to put it into the hand. Drives it down the wing. Good calling between Ben O'Connor and left half forward Michael Cusson, and that's wide again. Really, the ball should be going into Asaki because
should be playing it in front of him. You know, it doesn't have to be coming down out of the clouds. But we saw Cahill knocked him with a wide from way out the field. Michael Cusson a couple of balls in like that, and you know, I think Tomas mentioned before, it's a big game for him. Maybe trying that a little bit too hard to get on the score sheet or whatever. But you have to be playing those balls from that distance out in front of the full forward line.
Puck out again from Clinton Hennessy. Ends up with Michael Cusson. Cahill Naughton leaves it. Sent in by Niall McCarthy, well gathered by Owen Murphy. And remember, there is a little bit of a mist here now in Semple Stadium falling, so it's going to make handling just that little bit more difficult. John Milan over the sideline ball for Cork.
And Marty, just make another point. Every ball doesn't have to go through Asaki or Halpine as well. You know, Pat Horgan is there having a great year. You know, great league campaign. Kieran Murphy, very accomplished hurler, and they're getting no ball at all. It's nearly as if everything has to come out of the clouds and down on top of Asaki. Whereas you need to be bringing those lads into the game as well.
Scored 3 points in the drawn match, John Gardner. Cusson did well to keep it in. Brick Walsh cleaning up an awful lot of ball in that half back line. Batted down. Richie Foley and Stephen Malumphey there. It's Malumphey that has the possession. Tries to hand pass it. Great defending by Cork, 3 of them at the time. Cahill Naughton leaves it for Tom Kenny, who's now surrounded by 3 Waterford players. Pulled on by Seamus Prendergast. Referee is going to give a throw ball again. This is almost a replica of last Sunday, isn't it?
It's very, very similar. Yeah, you know, a lot of hard tackling, a lot of lads, a lot of crowd. You know, I'd love to see Waterford if they spread out and played more traditional in their positions.
Fraggy aiming for Asaki. Knocked away. Ben O'Connor chasing after this. Nice stick work by O'Connor. Can't control it. Sideline ball.
You know, it's Waterford style. They bring so many players out the field, and obviously when the ball comes in, there's going to be a lot of defenders around it. So I'd love it if to just line up in their 6 forward positions and play their own area, but that's not the way they do it.
Owen Murphy has come across to take this. The Shamrocks club. Intermediate, actually, between Tallow and Youghal. Knockanore parish in West Waterford. Stalwart of this particular team for the last number of years. Not his best sideline cut, by the way. Still, it's Brick Walsh. Has that nice habit with the hurley of laying it off. Long ball. Shane Walsh and Milan between them, combined. The finish by Milan is superb. Second point for the De La Salle man, and it's 5 points to 3.
Yeah, great play by Shane Walsh again here. You know, lovely, just a simple little flick out and a simple score by John Milan.
Puck out down to Cusson. Declan Prendergast and Walsh waiting for it. This is Brick Walsh, thanks to the stick of Declan Prendergast. Ball into space, but it carried a little bit too much weight. Easy ball for Donald Logue. Cusson, Gardner, available. Good understanding between left half and right half back. Down to Saki, good control. Going to take a run at Liam Lawler. Our footballers in the Piercing, by the way. But that's not his best pass. Easy ball for Shane O'Sullivan. Drives it long. Over towards Kevin Moran. Trying to get inside the cover. Shane Murphy, sideline ball. Which way is it going? It's going to Waterford. Coming across to take it is Shane O'Sullivan. Former Fitzgibbon Cup winner 2 years ago now with WIT. Ballygunnerman scored twice against Cork last Sunday. Sending it along the surface, it skids along all the way far as John Gardner. Under a little bit of pressure from Shane Walsh. Undoubtedly he was fouled. And that is a free out for the Leesiders. A little bit of holding there.
Yeah, just a hurl was held there, yeah. It just shows you the intensity, though. The tackling is savage out there on both sides, and low scoring, but as I said earlier, still an interesting game.
Ronan Kern, better ball for Isaki O'Halpine. Well together, lays it off to Cusson. Interception just about was by Brick Walsh. Hits it high. Owen Kelly, John Gardner. It would certainly appear that Owen Kelly was fouling John Gardner.
Yeah, he jumped straight into him. He wasn't facing the ball at all. Watched John Gardner raising the ball, and Owen Kelly just jumped straight into him.
John Gardner, 8 years playing with his county. Made his debut against Limerick back in 2002. Dropping this in. Plenty of big men around there. Don't get the possession. Cleared away by Richie Foley. Kevin Moran unable to keep it in. Sideline ball for Cork.
Yeah, very anxious. Again there, plenty of time in the ball. He could have taken that in his hand and delivered it down the field. We've seen a lot of very loose shooting from both players out around the middle of the field, hitting balls wide and aimless balls into the forward line.
Tom Kenny going to take this sideline cut. Not his best either. Good block down by Cusson. Waterford regain possession. Shane O'Sullivan, judged by the referee to have been overcarrying, so it's a chance here for Cork. Will Ben O'Connor take it, or will he leave it for John Gardner?
Yeah, thought it looked harsh enough. Initially just flicked it on there. We don't really see the steps that he took initially, but he tried to flick it on over the head. So we had one earlier on the other side, so these things tend to balance out.
Pat Cronin there with Dennis Walsh thinking about making a move, switch. John Gardner going for his second point here. And that ball is wide. 6 wides for Cork. By the way, Waterford have yet to register a single wide.
Yeah, it's unbelievably low score. All the plays, it's out over the line and wide, and no Cork forward has scored from play, which is unbelievable. At this level of hurling, it's just not good enough, really. Well, at any level of hurling, it's not good enough. That's what the forwards are there for.
Ronan Curran into the space. Pat Horgan, sideline ball again. Just out of interest, let me tell you that Ben O'Connor is the only Cork player to score so far. And in terms of the forwards, John Gardner from a 65, Cathal Naughton from midfield, and Ben O'Connor from a free. Niall McCarthy, Michael Cusson, Fraggy, Isaki, Pat Horgan yet to score. And Waterford, it's Owen Kelly with 3, John Milan with 2. That's a far better sideline cut, but it's not so good the finish, I'm afraid. It looked good, it was going up into the air.
Marty,
Dull, isn't it,
it is, but I keep harping on about it. Look, if you watch Kilkenny hurling, they line out in their positions and they play their zone. If you look out in the field here now, every player is on the far side of the field. There's nobody in the right corner back, right half back position for Cork. There's nobody in the left corner back, left half position for Waterford. And it's like something you'd see in a kids match, really. They're all following the ball and there's nobody holding their position.
That gives you an idea. One half of the field is just all full of players. They're half empty.
Well, one of the things, I only played one championship match in Thurles, but you dream about playing in Thurles. It's so big open pitch, and players just aren't using it. They're just all crowding it, and it's very, very tactical. And I wouldn't be a fan of that type of hurling. I think you should be playing in your position and go and win your position.
Like an under 14 game, you'll be telling the lads, spread it out, open it up, lads. Don't just follow the ball. But that's what at the moment is happening. Tony Brown is in there. Set 2 is Brick Walsh. Shane O'Sullivan. All alone, Ronan Cork. Back down towards Frankie Murphy. Pat Horgan. Michael Cusson is coming in first. Here's Frankie, the captain. Floating one across. In the centre is Niall McCarthy. Can he get a touch? Good defending by Owen Murphy. And it's gone out over the line. Good defending by this man, it must be said. Yeah, it was a brilliant ball by Kieran Murphy over to Niall McCarthy. Really should have done better. Great hook by Owen Murphy. Also having a very good year. Maybe a very underrated corner back as well. Super hook there, but great ball by Frankie Murphy. That's what he has, great vision. He's able to look up there, he'll see the ball coming over the heads. Cork really have had the best of the goal scoring chances. Well, they've had nearly all the play. They've had nearly all the play as well. Like Waterford are living off crumbs. Here's Kevin Moore going through the centre. Scored last Sunday. Oh, that's a brilliant bit of defending. Comes out for his own Kelly. Can he supply the finish? The umpire goes for the flag. 4 points for Owen Kelly in this match. That's his third. Yeah, and the super point. If he hit it wide, Seamus Prendergast was completely free over here. You'll see him there in front of the goals. The ball really should have been flicked over them. But here's Shane O'Neill coming back, kept his eye on the ball all the way, and super defending. 6 chances for Waterford, 6 points. And that illustrates what you were saying, Marty. Perfectly. Waterford are getting very, very little ball up the field, but they're very economical with it, whereas Cork are wasting a huge amount of possession. There's Brick again with another brilliant catch. Looking around for a space to hit it into. John Milan. Not a great ball inside, I'm afraid, from Milan. It's easily cut out by Shane O'Neill. Looking sharp. Down towards Michael Cusson. Chasing after him is Noel Connors. This is going to be interesting. Still Cusson! Liam Lawler is there. And great Waterford. Save by Clinton Hennessy. Marty there, I think we'll get a chance to see it again. A brilliant save by Hennessy. And here comes Connors. Driving it along. Coming out to meet it is Shane Murphy. Gets there first. Crowd at the far side felt he had crossed the line. The linesman, James Owens, didn't. Ronan Curran dropping it in. There's a whistle that belongs to the referee being blown, and there's a free in for Cork. 3 goal scoring opportunities for Cork in this first half. But here's a brilliant save from Clinton Hennessy. And he took plenty of steps too, Michael Cusson. It actually hit him, maybe he didn't save it. He just hit him on the shoulder there and back out, but he stood up well to it and didn't go into the net. Gives you an idea of the angle that Ben O'Connor is facing. Squeezes it inside the right-hand post for his second point. 6 points to 4 in Semple Stadium. See Liam Lawler down now. I saw Davy indicating over to him, pointing at his own hamstring. Whether it's just to slow down the play or that he genuinely hurt himself, I'm not sure. Liam Lawler is obviously requiring the medical attention. Physio, Peter Kerwin. Sean O'Halpine there, centre of your picture, very disappointed. I was speaking to him before the game, in fact, and there was no way, although he was named in the starting 15, was he going to make it with a hamstring. He needs another week. This man, happily enough, is able to resume his position at fullback. Clinton Hennessy driving the ball into the Cork half of the field. Well gathered by Seamus Prendergast. John Gardner coming in to challenge. Loose ball comes out for Shane O'Sullivan. Tackled by Ben O'Connor. In the eyes of the referee, it was a foul. Here's O'Sullivan, here's O'Connor with the push. Free, dead straight in front of the posts for the Daishies.
I think it could be Shane O'Neill that's down, is it for...
It is Shane O'Neill, it's Declan O'Sullivan there, the physio, giving a rub to the right corner back. Looks like that hamstring again, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, he went down very quickly there. Just seen it.
No, it is the hamstring, yeah.
He pulled up.
That doesn't look good for him, and he's been really playing superbly since he's been moved out to fill out for Sean O'Halpine. He's had at least one beautiful rob, good block down, and he's hurling well.
Well, he's huge pace and he can cover for other players as well, and if he has to go, be a huge loss with Sean O'G already out.
This is Ray Ryan that's coming on from Sarsfields.
Yeah, he came on last week, he's a good player, but he wouldn't have the sort of maybe range of skill that he's gone. The indication is that he's gone, he's after pulling the hamstring.
So that's two of the first choice from the Cork defence that's now gone. Sean O'Halpine since last Sunday, and Shane O'Neill now. So big blows to the Leesiders. Ray Ryan gets his chance. He's going to be introduced in just a moment. And certainly I think Dennis Walsh will be happy to draw breath at half-time. His team have been dominating, particularly around the half-back line and midfield areas, but they haven't really been scoring.
No, and it's down to a lot of the ball that they're playing in. You know, like, it's not traditional Cork fast ball in front of their full forward line. It's just sort of lobbing it in, hoping for the best. And just because you have a big man in there doesn't mean he's going to win sort of aimless high balls.
Owen Kelly standing over this. 2 additional minutes, as you can see on your screen, as we take the point from Owen Kelly. 5 points for Owen Kelly in this first half. Into injury time now in this first half in Semple Stadium. It's almost a replica of the first half that we saw last Sunday, which was a bit disappointing. Scooped away this time by Owen Cadigan. Sideline ball for Waterford. Davy Fitz is trying to reorganise his defence while this sideline ball is being taken. Telling players to, as you can see, go forward. Try and get another score before the break. Shane O'Sullivan as well, capable of dropping this into Shane Walsh. Cuts it crossfield instead, over towards Seamus Prendergast. First touch for Ray Ryan. Line ball for Waterford. Thought about the quick ball. Going to leave it. Going across is Richie Foley. Scored a point against Tipperary in the Munster final last year, Richie Foley. And of course injured his finger and his left hand last Sunday week. And played with those couple of stitches in his second finger and left hand, and really he was disappointed being taken off. But look at this. More than made up for it. First point for Richie Foley from Abbey's side in County Waterford. And this is a thing of beauty when it's done properly.
Yeah, and a fine game he's having too, Richie Foley. Much better today, the stitches out, and hurling a lot more freely than last weekend.
Well, it certainly has brightened up the first half, Richie Foley, with that wonderful sideline cut. Certainly Waterford will be happy to go in leading at the break at half-time, considering that Cork dominated. 3 goal-scoring chances we counted for Cork, with Clinton Hennessy making one particular good save. At half-time in Semple Stadium in the Munster final replay of 2010, it's Waterford 8 points, Cork 4. Back to you, Mike.
Time to rejoin our commentary team here in Semple Stadium. Marty Morrissey, Michael Duignan.
Thank you very much, Michael. I hope Ger Lucknan is right. As Waterford and Cork, well, the first half was pretty poor, to be honest with you. Let's hope it is a repeat of last Sunday. Here's Milan, off the post. Chance here. Good defending by Brian Murphy. Good work indeed by Cork defence that has been, for the first time, tested in terms of a goal-scoring opportunity. Niall McCarthy Diagonal ball sends down towards Paddy O'Sullivan. As Michael mentioned, substituted half-time for Patrick Horgan. Scored freely against Tipperary, you will recall, with 2-1, but really hasn't produced it since. And here's a man who's very much in form, O'Sullivan. Turns left, turns right, hits it onto his right and puts it over the bar. So already the substitution has worked for Cork.
Yeah, bad mistake there by Declan Prendergast. Tried to hand pass it back, put Owen Murphy under pressure, and for a second he might have been in on goal, but lovely finish, shortened up the grip of Hurling, tapped it over the bar. And John Milan, probably one of his easiest chances, that he normally for him he'd stick that one over, hit the post, and I think Kevin Moore maybe panicked a bit coming in, tried to pull on it, could have controlled the ball maybe, but good start by Cork.
Waterford took 8 scoring chances, they took 8 points out of it, and not a single wide. Isaki looking good, 6'7" combination, the Twin Towers, and already we have a far better second half in the opening 2 minutes or so than we had over 37 of the first. But Isaki and Cusson, good combination, good finish.
Yeah, the big difference there, Marty, Colin knocked in the ball into space, you know, nice height on it, not too high, and Saki was able to grab it and lay off a nice pass to Cusson over the bar. Simple score.
Nipping in Richie Foley, going back to try and gather it, under pressure, Ray Ryan. Cathal Naughton is outside him, Ray Ryan is fouled. And the fists are clenched with some of the Cork players, so I'm pretty sure that Dennis Walt said, you know, lads, you want to kind of sort yourselves out.
Yeah, well, you know, we said it all during the first half. Very poor forward play, particularly in the first half, but much brighter start by Cork.
Had a good ball, however, from John Gardner, giving his fellow Northsider from the Cork City no chance. Davy Fitzgerald's tactics, by the way, is to crowd it out as much as possible. And the shot you just saw on your television screen is getting the forwards to come out around the midfield area and crowd it. And as you said to me at half-time, Michael, it's all about making space.
Yeah, no, everyone's in a heap. No, again, no left half forward position, you know. But if it works, it's great. And they don't care if it's low scoring if to win the game. But I don't, you know, I prefer to see more traditional and lads playing their position.
Malumphey to Walsh. Kind of rushed that particular shot. Donald Cusick decided not to let it go out over the end line. And away comes Donald. Goes for distance. Frankie Murphy about to gather. Didn't fall his way. Gathered instead by Brick Walsh. Referee indicates it is a free for Waterford.
I think Brick has complained there that maybe Ben O'Connor's, you know, you see the foul there clearly, that he came back with the boot on him, onto him.
Would have been accidental, I would imagine.
Well, it's not like Ben O'Connor, you know, so I have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Long ball, dropping right in. Donald Cusick. Despite the fact that there's 22,763, you can hear him say, "My ball," up here. On what is now a historic evening in Semple Stadium, Thurles. First Munster final under lights.
Yeah, Donald made that look very easy, but you know, on a wet, damp evening like this, difficult ball to take, and right under his own crossbar.
Semple Stadium certainly looks a little bit different when you switch on the lights. Sideline ball, well hit, up goes John Gardner. Loose ball picked up by Brian Murphy, or at least attempting, read it well. Looking around, Niall McCarthy calls for it this side. Good play by Murphy. Let's see what McCarthy does. He's dropping it in towards Isaki. Paddy O'Sullivan is around there as well. Isaki gathers. Liam Lawler stands his ground courageously. Still Isaki tries the second time to break down the Waterford wall. Back out to Paddy O'Sullivan. The umpires have a brief little glance at each other, and that's Paddy O'Sullivan's second point.
Yeah, much more decisive play by the Cork forwards. Niall McCarthy is drifting way out the field here, picking up ball. You see Tony Brown trying to get the half hour to come back and help, but Tony is trying to stay in position. Niall McCarthy has picked up a couple of great balls and a great diagonal ball again into space there, and Isaki picked it up and laid it off nicely to Paddy O'Sullivan. That's his second point since coming on.
So the substitute has scored twice from play, where others had failed to register a single score in that opening half. Here's Noel Connors. Tenacious defending by the left corner back. Nice little flick onto Malumphey, and then he hits the stone wall by the name of Ronan Curran. And Malumphey is down like a bag of spuds, and certainly Brian Gavin is not taking any dissent whatsoever. Ronan Curran immediately disagreed with the official's decision. And I think by his actions there, he certainly showed that he was the boss.
Yeah, just see. Yeah, see, it's into the. We've talked about this over the last few weeks, and you know, okay, while he was crouched down a bit, he got it in the head, but like that's the way it is. The rule is now, anything in that area, it's going to be a free yellow card usually as well. So I don't think Ronan Curran can have any complaint there. He caught him in the chest.
A word from Davy Fitzgerald to Seamus Prendergast, and it should be also noted that Stephen Malumphey doesn't get involved in theatrics.
No, he's tough, but just I mentioned Niall McCarthy again on the last ball. He won it again way out the field, and I think that's what Davy is saying to whoever's on that wing, Kevin Moore and Seamus Prendergast. You have to come back and cover that space.
Owen Kelly with the free, and the point. 6 points for Owen Kelly. Into the middle, loose ball. Picked up here by Ray Rye. Referee blows the whistle. Going to be a free, and coming across is Ben O'Connor. He's a man who knows what it takes. Davy Fitz has won 2 All-Irelands himself, 3 Munster Championships, 3 All-Stars. Now manager, of course, for Waterford with just over 2 years and a month. As Gerald Nan was mentioning in half-time with Michael, like he's settled into the role, and his fingerprints are now on this Waterford team. As Ben O'Connor takes the free and registers his 3rd point of the game. And Cork now just 1 point adrift. Yeah,
that's a super point. Great leadership, I think, shown by Ben O'Connor there. Normally John Gardner takes those long-range frees, but you know, Ben just took on the mantle there from over the halfway line straight over the bar.
Long took out again. Clinton Hennessy, Ray Ryan, Niall McCarthy steps inside the challenge, lays it off. Whereas Cahill knocked it. Michael Cusson has gone left. Fraggy has gone right. It's aimed for Cusson, stepping inside, loses out between Brick Walsh and Tony Brown. Back to the Brick, steps by the challenge and continues to do this little nice soft pass with the hurling, one-handed. Richie Foley launches a high dropping ball, but I'm afraid it's heading towards Tremor. They ain't going toward the bar, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, we saw Cork at that in the first half. We didn't see Waterford doing it.
And that, Michael, is Waterford's first wide of the game.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised that they've had so little ball. You know, really Cork have had an awful lot of possession, and you know, coming back into the game now. But a bad ball in there. You know, should have went into. Steve Malumphey should have delivered earlier to John Milan.
Ben O'Connor under a little bit of pressure. Declan Prendergast did well. Combination of himself and Tony Brown deprived the Newtown Sandrum and possession. Owen Murphy, good pressure by Frankie Murphy. Here's Niall McCarthy. The umpire signals wide. Scored 5 points against Limerick in the Munster semi-final. Scored a point last Sunday. Still a tremendous worker.
He is, Marty, like that's, I was just going to say, he's not scoring it. You can carry 1 or 2 forwards like that are working so hard. He's delivering some great ball. He had a great game last week, and he's playing very, very well again tonight.
John Milan, sideline ball, goes to Cork.
You can see a lot more urgency in the Cork players now in the second half. You know, they're urging each other on, driving each other on, and you know, they know if they can up the tempo that the game is there to be won.
John Gardner going to take this. Good ball as well, up towards Cusson. Took the hit from Michael Brick Walsh. Referee blows his whistle immediately. Former Waterford captain is asking for what? Let's see here. Was that a foul, Michael?
Yeah, he just mistimed it and caught him in the back. Michael Cusson much more influential now since half time. Had a quiet first half. Brick Walsh dominated, but he scored a point and fouled for that free, and much more involved in the game.
If Ben O'Connor puts this over, it'll be the first time The counties are level. This replay, drives it in low, and it's gone all the way into the back of the net. A rasper that fooled everybody, but more importantly, fooled the Waterford keeper Clinton Hennessy. It looked like a simple tap over, but he drove it right into the corner, almost off the post, into the back of the net. Waterford are rocked. Cork are inspired by Ben O'Connor, even if it takes just a little fraction of luck. Seamus Prendergast dropping it in. It's a waste of possession. Donald O'Cusick floats it very high, dropping out of the night sky at this stage. Brick Walsh over towards Tony Brown. Isaki O'Halpine coming in to challenge. Perhaps now we do away with game plans and defensive strategies and just deal with the heart and soul of hurling. Let it fly. Free out for Cork. And you could just watch the body language of the Cork lads. I didn't see it in the first half, but in the second half, they're clapping each other on the back, they're showing each other clenched fists, and they shouldn't be getting involved in any sort of verbal exchanges. But they are playing with greater intensity.
You can see it, Marty, since half-time. They came out in the second half, much more life in them. Just go back to that free from Ben O'Connor. You know, most people, I think, will think he mishit it or whatever, but I have a feeling that he might have went for that, just the way that he put a bit of topspin on it.
And Waterford under pressure again. Owen Murphy. Cusson comes in. Kicks it over. Paddy O'Sullivan was coming through. Good defending by Liam Lawler. Little chink to the right, then to the left. Puts it down the middle towards Kevin Moore. Good work by Shane Murphy. Flicking it forward for his Cathal Naughton. Good vision, good pass. Over this side is Niall McCarthy. Didn't spot him. Goes down the middle channel. Paddy O'Sullivan, Fraggy is there, so too is Cusson. Ben O'Connor comes in to challenge. Manages to get it. Fires the captain, Stephen Malumphey. Was John Milan being held? Was Brian Murphy fouling? Waterford players protesting. Milan was doing it as well. He's looking over at Dickie Murphy, the linesman, to say, where are the officials here?
There was certainly holding going on there. You know, it's hard for the ref to see everything, but Dickie Murphy was looking right in front of it there.
There's a change in the Waterford attack, and it's Brian O'Halloran that's coming on, and Seamus Prendergast is the player that's making way. And O'Halloran, a Waterford minor last year, and in case you've just joined us, he's just done his leaving cert. He's a player of huge potential. Cathal Naughton, Isaki, 3 Waterford players, 1 Corkman with the help of Paddy O'Sullivan. He's bursting forward, he's inside the large rectangle, he goes down, but the referee says he took too many steps. Cathal Naughton is furious with the official, by the way, and actually approached the man in yellow and black. There's an extra 13 metres for descent by Cathal Naughton, and there's a free for Waterford.
Yeah, it was Cathal Naughton first of all, then Paddy O'Sullivan.
And there's a yellow card for Paddy O'Sullivan. But I think it was the fact that Isaki made it inside the large rectangle and then he went down.
Then he went down. It looked like a dive to me.
Yeah, it looked like it was a bit of a plan on behalf of Isaki. Here's Waterford now. Chance sent over the crossbar. Good play by the substitute, Brian O'Halloran.
Yeah, that'll give him great confidence just on the field. Nice simple chance, don't get any easier than that. Well done by Brian O'Halloran.
It's like a mirror image of last Sunday. Poor first half, much better second half. But do you think Ben O'Connor went for that?
I think he might have, yeah. Just looking at the way, if we see it again maybe later, the way if you watch his hurl, he didn't look like he was following through to tuck it over the bar. He kind of stopped his strike, and with a bit of topspin, looked like to me he went for the top corner.
We'll have a look at it when we get a chance, because the game is being played at such a fast pace. It's fairly hectic. Tony Brown, that's a beautiful cut. Up towards Shane Walsh, knocked away. Ronan Curran is there. Dominant comes back for his Brian Murphy. Cadigan is there as well. And it's Cork that look to have a little bit more confidence at the moment. Cathal Naughton tussling with Shane Walsh, has to go left, gets a little bit of distance. Shane O'Sullivan bravely puts up the left hand. Tom Kenny comes in to challenge. Crossfield ball aimed it over towards John Milan, comes down towards Malumphey. Here's Milan, This time he gets a free. And Milan not quite lighting the challenge, but to his credit, he's trying to inspire his colleagues here.
There wasn't a whole lot in that. I'd say he got that from we've just watched Ben O'Connor here. I just have a feeling that he might have. If you just watch it, he didn't really follow through. He just kind of placed it. Maybe not. Maybe he mishit it. It'd be some. If he did go for it, it was some skill to see him off his line. Yeah, but Ben will surely tell us anyway the truth when we catch up with him.
He'll say he meant it.
He'll say he meant it. Yeah.
Another point for Owen Kelly. 7 points for him. And they're level for the first time after 51 minutes of play. Just a factor to notice as well that Ben O'Connor was facing into the breeze when taking that free. Not too sure I had a factor in it. It could have been the fact that it's raining here now in Perlis. Misty.
It doesn't really matter whether they meant it or not. It's up on the scoreboard now, and hopefully we'll have a great last 20 minutes. Much better start to the second half, and really set up now for a nail-biting finish. 20 minutes to go.
Ronan Curran is fouled. Needs a little bit of attention as well as a result of this particular sequence of action between Brick Walsh and Shane Walsh, the two Walshes between them. Yeah, resulted in injury for the St. Finbarr's man.
Cork don't want to lose another defender. They already lost Shane O'Neill, and Sean Ogg didn't start, but even you'd have to say the lads come in have done very well. Raymond Ryan playing very well. He came on there. Shane Murphy came in from the start, having a very solid game.
Ronan is fine. It'll take a little bit more than that to knock the Bars man out of.
Yeah, he's having a great year. Brick is having a great year for Waterford at centre back, but Curran maybe just even shading it. His form has been outstanding this year.
Three times an All-Ireland medalist, 5 Munster championships. Ben O'Connor. This time they sent it wide. Sides remain level. 53 minutes played.
He scored a much more difficult one from out here in front of us a few minutes ago, and that was a bad wide from straight in front of the goals.
Knocked down by Tom Kenny. Ray Ryan coming in. Shane O'Sullivan is there for Waterford. Managed to get it up. Tom Kenny. Now Shane has it eventually. Tries to give it back. It's a terrible ball, but that's a well won by John Milan. Chasing after him, Owen Cadigan. Milan from the sideline. Under pressure. Incredible point. It's his third of the Munster final replay, and Waterford fans rejoice, and rightly so. This took a bit of bravery, a bit of judgment, and what about this for a wallop of skill?
Unbelievable score.
Niall McCarthy. Picked up by Richie Foley, dropping it in. Who has the ball? Shane Walsh. Fabulous catch. Turns onto the left and puts it over the bar.
That's another fantastic score, Marty. Shane Walsh is not that big, but he went to the clouds for that one. For that brilliant catch in behind Brian Murphy. Got up very, very quickly off the ground. A simple finish at the end, but a brilliant catch, and just when it looked like maybe Cork were getting it, here you see him eyes on the ball all the way, just floated in behind Brian Murphy. Great catch.
Didn't score in the drawn game, but that's a crucial point. And it's a response by Waterford in terms of their character, like they did last Sunday. After Ben O'Connor's goal, they've responded with 2 really magnificent points by Milan and Shane Walsh. Is it enough to turn the tide? Brick Walsh stopped this time. Cussin. Ball falls for Fraggy. Cork captain is pulled to the ground. Free for the Leesiders.
Yeah, Armin again around the neck. Great block there by Michael Cussin again on Brick. Really, Brick should have had it cleared. You see John Milan now gone into the normal right corner where he plays Shane Walsh in at full forward. I think he'll be much happier. He just has that sort of movement of a full forward, and Milan will have a little bit more room maybe in the corner.
Ben O'Connor going to take this. He's already scored a goal and 3 points in this match. That's the angle. This time he gives it plenty of elevation. Another crucial score. Keeps Cork just 1 point adrift. Looks like last Sunday we're going to have an exciting last 15 minutes. Whipped away brilliantly. Comes down towards Niall McCarthy. Tony Brown with him. McCarthy operating as always out at left half forward. There's a tussle, there's a struggle between Brian Murphy and John Milan. Still Milan. Battling this time with Ronan Curran. Milan takes a dive. Brian Murphy. Owen Cadogan. Good play by the Cork defence. Drives it long up towards Fraggy Murphy. Scoops it up, gathers despite the attention of 3 Waterford defenders. Goes all the way back. Far as Ray Ryan. Quickly dispatches it far as John Gardner. He's going for the score. At least he's going for a sacking. The call comes from Clinton Hennessy. Declan Prendergast tells him to keep going. He's going straight down the middle. Touched just a little bit by Kevin Moore. Gone back there is Shane Murphy. Under pressure from Brian O'Halloran. The attempted pass doesn't work out, but Murphy has it again. Tenacious play by the wing back and cornerback. Tries to flick it away. Knocked indeed by Tom Kenny. Overfires the midfielder Carl Naughton. Dropping it in. It's a Saki that's chasing after it. Clinton Hennessy can only wave at it. Great score. 110 to 13 points. Level for the second time this Munster final replay. And like last Sunday, Cathal Naughton has scored 2 points.
Yeah, great point. Lovely little assist there again by Michael Cousin. And Kieran Murphy is coming out around the half-hour line, winning plenty of ball out there as well. Great catch there by Kevin Moore.
It's Moore, De La Salle lays it off for his own Kelly, and the umpire this time is going to wave wide. Disappointment for Owen Kelly on this particular occasion.
Yeah, and you know, he's a key man for Waterford now in the last 15 minutes. He has all the ability in the world. Having a quietish enough game, though, he still scored 2 points from play and scoring all these frees, which you'd love to see him a bit more involved in the overall game.
Kevin Moran and Ronan Curran continue to get to know each other, and Brian Gavin is telling the 2 lads to hop onto themselves. Long ball by Donald O'Cusick. Up goes Tony Brown. Gives it down for his own Kelly. Pumps it in towards the corner. Owen Cadogan. Just a nice little touch on Shane Walsh in the pursuit of the slither. Enough to put Walsh off. Enough to gain possession and ultimately win the free. He's impressive, Owen Cadogan. Probably a little bit more so than last Sunday.
Yeah, he is indeed. Yeah, he's commanding down there. See him driving out with the ball. I always feel sorry for forwards in this position, when to tackle. Anytime to tackle, it tends to be a free against him, but he was definitely holding him up there.
Just by our calculations up here in the commentary box, scoring chances for Cork are 11 out of 22, Waterford 13 out of 18. I'll just give you the way the game is going at the moment. Liam Lawler shows why he was on the Waterford senior football team last year. Free for the foul on Owen Kelly. No doubt, I think, about the foul here. Here's the kick. Here's the push by John Gardner.
Yeah, poor free to give away really there. The ball had run past him. And
that looks like Maurice Shanahan that's going to be introduced. Younger brother of Dan the Man from Lismore. Under 21 player from last year that lost the Munster under 21 final on a lovely evening in Dungarvan to Clare. Good forward. We'll see more of him. But first, it's a free for Owen Kelly. Just inside his own half of the field. It's a great puck of a ball into the left hand of Donald O'Cusick. Back out to Declan Prendergast. Sideline ball. Now the substitution is going to take place, and Maurice Shanahan is coming on for Shane Walsh. Change in the Waterford attack. Shane Walsh will possibly be disappointed.
Yeah, I thought he did well. I suppose they're trying to change things and they're playing off a squad. That's the way they operate. But he had a couple of assists, scored a great point there a couple of minutes ago, and he did his piece certainly for Waterford this evening.
referee indicates it's a Waterford ball. As you can see down at the other end, Liam Lawler is having difficulty. Had to come off the last day with knee problems, and it looks like it's the same old dilemma. Well, we've 10 minutes left in the Munster final replay. What are the bets on extra time? Owen Kelly standing over this. Well within his range. Difficult angle. He runs away in that traditional style that suggests that that was a successful attempt. 8 points for Owen Kelly this evening.
Yeah, Marty, again, I mentioned O'Logue made a couple of catches making it look easy, and he made that look so easy. That's a very, very difficult free. Bad evening, raining out there, and from a very difficult angle straight over the bar. Yeah, you know, I often hear lads saying, you know, he just scores some frees, any of these lads, whether it be Owen Kelly, Henry Shefflin, Owen Kelly from Tip or Joe Canning, but they have to be scored. You know, like the pressure on there on every time you stand over the ball, and none of them scores are easy. They have to be put over the bar.
You know, the Ben O'Connor goal, Michael, if I recall, Paul Flynn did something similar a couple of years ago as well for Waterford.
He definitely meant it.
He'll be really grateful for that comment, Michael. Anyway, back to this particular Munster final replay. Tom Kenny. Shane O'Sullivan is back there helping on his defence. Flicks it out for Niall McCarthy. Continues to do Trojan work out in the wing. Ball into the middle. Cusson to Fraggy, to Cusson. Trouble here for Waterford. He's inside this time, and the referee indicates it's a penalty. Great combination play between the Sarsfields double act. Cusson, 6'7". Kieran Murphy might only be 5'8", but they do work well.
He's a very, very clever hurler, though. You know, we're always saying that. Michael Cusson was waiting. You know, really there was no need to tackle him. There was plenty of cover there. You know, actually, Liam Lawler was coming over into the picture, but Liam Lawler had the route to goal blocked maybe, but he was definitely pulled down.
Yellow card, by the way, for Richie Foley, and he's on the line along with his goalkeeper Clinton Hennessy and Shane O'Sullivan.
And John Gardner up to take it from wing back.
A crucial moment with 7 minutes left in the Munster final replay. Could well give Cork their 52nd Munster title. Clinton Hennessy fully focused on the goal line. Here it comes. Brilliantly saved. And Hennessy and O'Sullivan between them deflected it over the crossbar. John Gardner has to be satisfied with his second point. Let's see who got the vital touch. He drove it straight at Clinton Hennessy and O'Sullivan. I think we'll give it the credit. This angle will definitely tell us.
Yeah,
both of them really.
Probably O'Sullivan, I'd say, got maybe the stronger touch on it. You know, crucial, as you said, all square now, and 7 or 8 minutes to go.
Donald Cusick, fine goalkeeper, good hands on a wet, miserable evening now here in Semple Stadium. I wouldn't think by your pictures, but there is a mist around the Premier County on this particular Saturday evening. Paddy O'Sullivan in towards Isaki O'Halpine. Flicks it, he tried to flick it in towards the path of Niall McCarthy. Well picked up by Tony Brown. Not good for a 37-year-old, but you know what? He won't mind if he gets a Munster Championship medal.
No, he did very well. He drove out the ball there and caught by Paddy O'Sullivan.
Between Isaki and Paddy O'Sullivan, Tony Brown was definitely fouled.
Yeah, well, it's a bad evening out there, but the tackling has been very, very, you know, tenacious on both sides since the start of the game. Both forward lines in particular working very, very hard when they don't have the ball.
They've been levelled 3 times in this Munster final replay. As Cork make another change, Luke O'Farrell from Middleton is going to come on. Saw him play against Limerick in the Munster Championship, and he looked the part, or I should say in the league, and certainly played well. As Isaki is the one that's going to make way.
No, he's not.
He's not.
It's Kieran Murphy who's got
Kieran Murphy that's gone. Isaki looked like he was coming over to the sideline, and in fact Isaki is coming out towards the corner. rather than the sideline.
Yeah, Kieran Murphy again. Maybe we said it about Shane Walsh, but I thought Kieran Murphy very, very good game to Stephen when he was on the ball. I'm surprised he's taken off a clever player like that. You know, in a few minutes to go, he could create a score.
Ronan Curran had to let the ball go. A little bit of pressure here. Good stick work by Brian O'Halloran. Half blocked by Tom Kenny. Comes down towards Brian Murphy. John Milan. Here's Gardner. Tries to get by the initial challenge provided by former Waterford minor. Down towards Paddy O'Sullivan and Luke O'Farrell. Declan Prendergast can only guide it over the sideline. Sideline ball for Cork. 4 minutes left in this Munster final replay. Four minutes to go. What do you think? Call it.
I don't know, Marty. You know, can go either way at this stage. Brian O'Halloran there, you know, got a good point since he came on. Showed his inexperience a little bit there. A loose man outside him. A simple hand pass was all that was needed. I think John Milan was outside him. We should have flicked it out to him.
Poor ball from Ben O'Connor. Owen Kelly sends it into the middle towards Richie Foley. Down the wing. Coming across John Milan. Owen Cadogan will claim that was a shoulder. The referee disagrees, and he's given a free to Waterford.
Yeah, and in fairness, John Milan, he doesn't go down easily. He takes a lot of belts. Yeah, into the back of the shoulder, definitely. Again, nothing too malicious, but John, he went down fairly heavy, and it's, as I say, he takes a lot of belts and not want to complain, in fairness to him.
Another change along the sideline, by the way, as Waterford introduced Jamie Nagle, and it's Liam Lawler that's gone off. But Jamie Nagle, who played wing back last Sunday.
He did, he played well when he was down, and Declan Prendergast gone back. He didn't look overly enthused by the move there, looking at his body language, but he's gone back in there now. There's a huge free now with a couple of minutes to go.
Owen Kelly, you can see he's literally centimetres in from the sideline. John Milan scored a magnificent point earlier from along that particular side of the field. This is looking wide. 68 minutes played, sides level.
Yeah, well, you asked me who'll win, Marty. I predicted if there was another score, I'd say that'll be it. You know, it's been a very, very low scoring game, and the next score is going to be crucial.
Far better second half though, Michael, thankfully.
Much better second half, even though it's low scoring. Yeah, great intensity out there on both sides.
Owen Kelly, can he produce a moment of magic? John Gardner goes in pursuit. Owen Kelly is going the scenic route all along, leaving Gardner on his trail. Here comes the cross, or is it more than that? It's another wide off the stick of Owen Kelly. Referee Brian Gavin has blown his whistle again, and again he's not allowing the quick tuck out.
The players have to be outside the 21, Marty, that's the rule, and he's adhering to that.
2 additional minutes to be played here. It's quite tense around Semple Stadium. 2 minutes of additional time. We're into the last minute. Brilliantly caught in the air by, lovely scale by Michael Brigg-Walsh. To his captain, Stephen Malumphey. Brought down on the 65-metre line.
Again, I see players arguing. I don't understand it. That's a blatant free, straight in front of the referee, and Michael Cusson up arguing with him, and see Ronan Curran coming out now as well. Crazy stuff.
Yellow card for Ray Ryan.
But Marty, before that, one of the best pieces of skill of the game, Michael Walsh, brilliant catch over Michael Cusson's head, and then a lovely flick over the head to come out, and a good pass to Stephen Malumphey. You see the catch here now, and drives out it then. I don't know, did he throw it up? He might have fouled it. It wasn't that great. It was a brilliant piece of
You've just changed your mind.
Well, it was still a great piece of skill, but he got away with it.
But it looked really good. I'd agree with you, Mike. I thought it was wonderful initially, at least. Now, Owen Kelly going for the winner, perhaps here, and going for Waterford's 9th championship title in the province of Munster. Kelly hits it. Kelly looks, Ball is wide.
Yeah, that's a bad miss, Marty. Could be a Munster title gone down the drain just there.
We're into injury time. A minute and a half left in Thurles. Who can produce the magic? Here's a man who can do it, but he's way out around midfield. John Milan over to the far side. Shane Murphy. Good play by Waterford, it must be said, by Brian O'Halloran, and that's going to be a free for Cork. The first minute of additional time is almost completed. Is this trophy going to Cork or going to Waterford? The president checks his watch. Time almost up for the Leesiders and the Dashis. Are we about to have extra time? Up goes big Michael Cusson. He's looking to go for it. He's dropping it in. Clinton Hennessy has to get a touch here. Good hands by the Waterford keeper. More than making up for perhaps that Ben O'Connor shot that beat him earlier in the second half. 30 seconds left. Out fares Ben O'Connor. Hits it low down towards Cusson. O'Connor gone for the return pass. Thou shalt not foul. The 11th commandment must be the rule now for both Cork and Waterford. It's a scramble. Referees still there watching. Line ball going to Waterford. 5 seconds left. Can I say now, Michael, I fancy extra time.
Yeah, it looks like it now.
72 minutes. The clock has ticked away, and it looks like under lights on a historic night for the Munster province indeed, that Dennis Walsh and Davy Fitzgerald will have to gather their players again and face another 20 minutes of championship hurling to decide who wins this Munster title. Referee blows the full-time whistle, and it is indeed a draw yet again. It's been a most interesting second, a far better second half, highlighted of course by Ben O'Connor's goal after 45 minutes for a free. Davy Fitzgerald will want his players probably in the dressing room. At half-time it was Waterford 8 points, Cork 4 points, but at the end of 72 minutes, the Munster final replay, it's Cork 111, Waterford 14 points. Thank you very much, Michael. Yes, Dan the Man is on for John Milan, and a big loss of course to the Dashis. Equally a big loss is Ronan Curran, and as you mentioned with the lads there, Cyril and Tomas and Chair, Shane O'Neill is gone, Ronan Curran is now gone, and Sean O'Halpine. And Dan the Man is going in towards corner forward from what I can gather from our perspective up here.
Yeah, Milan's a huge loss here, you know, but the game really opened up now in extra time, hopefully, and he took a heavy knock over on the sideline just before the end of the game, and he's gone. 1987
was the last time the Munster final went to a replay, well, not to a replay, but to extra time in the replay. It was the day when Richard Stakelum said the famine was over for Tipperary against Cork, and there's the opening score for Waterford by Kevin Moore in this 20-minute period, 10 minutes each way. Here's Moore, opening score of extra time.
Yeah, very good score. Dan laid it off there, and Brick Walsh again driving forward with it.
Well, as Cyril mentioned at the break there, very important, the opening score. Indeed, even the opening wide. It was a lovely little flick on by Paddy O'Sullivan, and it turned out to be a score for Kevin Moore. Nice stick work by Stephen Malumphey. Comes out first Paddy O'Sullivan. Thought about dropping it in. Out first Niall McCarthy, being pushed away, more and more away from the goalposts. He drives this in. Clinton Hennessy is underneath it all the way. Good hands by the keeper. Out first Richie Foley. Mist rain falling here, making it very difficult for the hurlers in this very first Munster final under floodlights.
It is, Marty, and you know, Gerard Lucknam was just making a point there that I was saying to you here. Whoever loses this game is going to have an All-Ireland quarter-final next Sunday. It'll be 2 tough matches, extra time, and it's going to be a big ask for them. You know, whereas whoever wins it goes into an Ireland semi-final. So there's a huge incentive there, and also a vital Kenny in that semi-final. So you know, much more than just a Munster title at stake out here.
Absolutely. John Gardner trying to go down that right wing. Linesman indicates that it is a Cork ball. Well, there might have been 35,375 here last Sunday, 22,763 this evening. Certainly the crowd are enjoying it, particularly the second half. This ball dropped in. 2 Waterford players go up for it. Comes down, however, to Paddy O'Sullivan. Tries to make an angle. Still not gaining any ground. Comes back out to William Egan. Hits it with great conviction. And there's a point for a young man that's going to have, I'm sure, quite a good career in the red and white jersey of Cork. Cork under-21 star from Kilburn, William Egan.
Yeah, great score, first touch for him in a Munster final and score a point. Fantastic start.
Level for the 4th time. And in case you've joined us here on the Saturday Game Live, we're into extra time in the Munster final replay. That ball is wide off the stick of Cathal Naughton.
Yeah, again, he's the type of player, you know, with his pace and fitness in extra time. I guess when lads start to tire, you'd expect him to come into the game big time.
Great puck out by Clinton Hennessy. Brian O'Halloran chasing after it. Another one of these up-and-coming players. This is John Milan that's suffering. You can see he can feel the pain. Half muscle injury. Do you know something? I wouldn't be surprised if he came back in, knowing Milan's hurt. It's going to be taken by Ben O'Connor, just around the middle of the field. Sideline ball at the far side. Cuts it neatly in towards Isaki O'Halpine. Going back to Gather's Big Walsh. Brings Clinton Hennessy into the game. He goes for distance. Down towards Maurice Shanahan. Runs on kindly towards another one of the Shanahans, Dan the Man. Referee spotted the foul on Owen Cadigan by Owen Kelly, and that's going to be a free for Cork.
Yeah, good ball by Dan Shanahan in front, and you can see Owen Cadigan out in front. As the lads are saying, he's done very, very well, particularly in the second half, and out in front of Owen Kelly again there.
Gardner with the fray. Up towards Paddy O'Sullivan. Niall McCarthy did well, went down low to scoop it up. Good block down by Tony Brown. Comes to the break. Gives it long towards Maurice Shanahan. Nice stick work again, keeping it in. Now, who touched that last? Referee Dickie Murphy wasn't too sure. Sideline linesman Dickie Murphy wasn't too sure. Brian Gavin felt it was a Waterford ball. I wonder. Let's just have a look at it again. Here's Maurice Shanahan touching it. Now, who touched it last?
50-50, yeah, 50-50.
And we're not on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Michael.
As the fella at home in our dressing room one time said, it's 60-50.
Nice cut in by Richie Foley. Kevin Moore unable to control it. Good work by Brian O'Halloran. Ray Ryan is pulled down by O'Halloran. That's going to be a free for Cork. No question whatsoever.
Yeah, just a hand in there, just pulled him back. You know, not much in it, but it is a free.
Four times these counties have been level. And it's such a wet, miserable evening now here in Tipperary that the towels have to be brought out. The wipe has to be on the hurley to make sure the grip is right. And here's John Gardner. Michael Cusson tries to get a touch. Stephen Malumphey is back there helping out his defence. Again, Niall McCarthy. See the way he goes down really low to try and get the ball. Isaki O'Halpine. Stephen Malumphey to Cusson again. Good calling by Ray Ryan. Went off a Waterford man. Happens to be Richie Foley. Sideline ball caught. Over 6 minutes gone. Just 4 minutes to go now in the first period of extra time. Ben O'Connor could well have an idea about cutting this all the way over the bar. He's already scored a goal and 4 points. You can see he's pretty focused on trying to raise a white flag here. Cuts it beautifully, dropping right in. Good defending again by the brick. Unable to keep it in play is Jamie Nagle. Owen McGrath's warming up along the sideline, so he's going to be introduced. John Milan has, by the way, donned the top of a tracksuit, but I wouldn't be surprised if Milan thought about coming back in again. I think that may well happen.
Yeah, he's certainly keeping on his toes there and he's limbering up. Owen McGrath definitely ready to come in now in the next minute or two.
All-star twice, 0-3 and 0-8. Good cut as far as Richie Murphy. In comes Cusson. Stopped this time by Jamie Nagle. Stephen Malumphey showing a bit of leadership. Knocked away by Cusson. Ben O'Connor leaves it. As Cork try and put a combination here. Kennedy Egan is showing great tenacity and determination, considering that it is his Munster Championship debut this evening. Here comes Paddy O'Sullivan. Back out first William Egan. Ben O'Connor takes responsibility. Unmarked in the middle. Michael Cusson slices it off the hurl. But to be fair to Michael Cusson, it's possibly the grip because it is raining here, making it very difficult.
The conditions are very bad.
This was a chance though, Michael.
Yeah, it's a very easy chance, you know, but it is very, very difficult out there now. Rain coming down much heavier, and every score now is like gold dust. You know, there's only been 1 point each in the extra time period, so you know any chance like that has to be taken. Great catch by Dan Shanahan.
Dan the man, hurler of the year a few seasons ago. Owen Kelly is down in a race for possession with Owen Cadigan. Still Kelly protesting, but the referee is saying play on. Coming in is Saki O'Halpine. Difficult angle, one curl. Good effort for right of the post, and that gives Cork 12 wides in this game, and interestingly just 5 wides for Waterford. Down at the other end I can reveal that Owen Kelly is fitting well. Carl Naughton gets a touch. Richie Foley leaving it for Shane O'Sullivan. There's a clear push in the back and Shane O'Sullivan from William Egan. Free for Waterford.
Yeah, there's certainly something going on between Owen Kelly and Owen Cadigan down off the ball. Kelly went down the last time, and then he seemed to, when he went back in, there was certainly an incident with Owen Cadigan, and Don Logue was trying to get the umpire's attention.
Brian Gavin is going down to have a brief meeting with his umpires, and down there, by the way, is his own brother David and William Flynn from for Ban. And let's see, there is consultation and there is communication this time between the referee and the officials. And it's Owen Kelly and Owen Cadigan have been battling, having their own battle. Now, this is a deep conversation, actually, isn't it?
I predict 2 yellow cards for the two of them. That's what normally happens in these games. But depends what this. I didn't see it.
And Donald Cusick was also involved in the sense that he was protesting to the referee to come down and talk to his umpires.
There's been a lot of that. Asaki was at the last day trying to influence the ref, I thought, and you know, lads arguing over frees when the free is given against them, arguing with the ref consistently.
And Brian Gavin is having a word, and he has in fact isolated Owen Kelly. I'm pretty sure it could be a yellow card based on what...
It could be more, I'd say, the way Owen Kelly is looking.
Brian Gavin, one of the top referees. In fact, he refereed that All-Ireland quarter-final a few seasons ago in Croke Park. And Owen Kelly is definitely getting a lecture, and I think it's going to be a yellow card when it's shown eventually. There it is. But good communication between the referee and his umpires.
Yeah.
As normal. So, this is going to be a free in the middle of the field.
Tony Brown has taken on the responsibility.
Slight wind to his back. More crossfield than anything else. Scored a goal to force the replay. Scores a point in extra time of that replay. And Waterford sneak in front.
Huge leadership again there, Marty. You know, Owen Kelly had missed a couple of frees, and just before the end of normal time, and Tony Brown took on the responsibility there and straight over the bar.
Well, great leadership indeed being shown by Tony Brown, who took responsibility. He had no frees taken all evening here in Thurles, and just on the break of half-time, of extra time, he puts his county in front.
Yeah, and I see John Milan putting his helmet back on, Marty. You were saying there from the start he might go back in. It looks like he is going to go back in.
So half-time is Waterford 16 points, Cork 1 12, 1 point between the teams.
Marty, we'll give you a little break there just for a moment or two while the sides switch ends for the remaining 10 minutes. It may not be the remaining 10 minutes of this Munster final, because we could go to another replay if they don't separate it, but it is Waterford with the advantage by a point at the moment. Let's hear from the panel here, from Cyril, Tomas and from Ger.
Well,
Any
at this
words
stage,
of wisdom for us?
At this stage, it's like two punch-drunk fighters, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's just a case of who'll deliver the knockout blow now, because they're just dead on their feet.
Yeah.
You know, it's just pure instinct and determination that's keeping them going. Because after last Sunday and after that, because you know, forget about the quality. It has been real high intensity. You know, the tackling, the work rate, the running off the ball has been of the highest degree, and so they're worn out by now. So it's a simple thing now that'll win the game.
Absolutely.
A slip.
And I mean, it is difficult conditions out there.
Very
on the foot now,
very
the lot of rain after falling as well, you know. So I mean, it is survival of the fittest at this stage. And I think one mistake or one bit of inspiration from somebody will win this match.
I thought, lads, Tony Brown took great leadership there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a long range free. It didn't show him off camera to going around the full back to see what was happening, the full back, the full forward. But like, he pushed everyone else away. He said, I'm going to take this. Kennedy's half gone out. I want to miss a few. It showed like the leadership. He believed he was going to pot it. Now it looks easy from here, but like, he was still 65 yards out. It's straight in front, but he had to do it. So he has that quality the whole time. It's still in Waterford's hands to win this. They are the point up. There's only 10 minutes to go. It can be anyone's game, but you'd imagine that Waterford should win it from here.
Well, that's what Cyril Farrell says. Brave man. Let's see what happens. Back to Marty and Michael.
Thank you very much, Michael. Just 3 scores in that first period of extra time. Kevin Moran, Kenneth Egan and Tony Brown. Tony Brown scoring that point from a free.
John Milan didn't go back in, Marty. Owen McGrath's gone on there. I think young Brian O'Halloran has gone off again.
A little bit of experience perhaps now required. Although Brian O'Halloran did quite well. And I'm sure the Waterford management feel that the experience of Owen McGrath could well be a factor here. Free for Cork in the middle of the field. Going to be taken by John Gardner. Remember, one of the highlights of the second half was that penalty save. Combination of Clinton Hennessy and Shane O'Sullivan. From this man, John Gardner. Difficult to control as the rain falls. Out comes Isaki O'Halpine. There too is Rick Walsh. Gets it down. Good hands by Shane O'Sullivan. Cushion just arrived a little bit late. Long ball up towards Owen McGrath. Can he make an impact now that he's introduced? Sideline ball is going to Cork. Well cut in by John Gardner. First to it is Luke O'Farrell. And that ball is wide. 13 wides for Cork to Waterford's 5.
It's whoever who makes the least mistakes, Marty. Owen McGrath on the ball, hand passes out over the line. Luke O'Farrell loads of time there, came out, won a great ball ahead of Brick Walsh, but then tucks it wide. You just have to settle on the ball. In a tight game like this, you can't be panicking.
Tom Kenny knocked off his hurl. Linesman indicates it's a Cork ball. Waterford going to introduce another substitute, by the way. And it looks like Ken McGrath is going to be coming on for Kevin Moran, who scored that first point in the first period of extra time. Battling hard is Jamie Nagle. So too is Richie Foley. Ben O'Connor chasing after him, trying to scramble it for Shane O'Sullivan. Sullivan did well. Ballygunnerman. Back to Noel Connors. Gets a good strike of the sliotar. Down the middle, up comes Gardner. Pulled on first time. Combination play. It comes to Dan the man. He hits it. Oh, Donald Cruz got a touch, but the ball is in the net. They rejoice around Semple Stadium. Is that Waterford's 9th Munster title? 12 and a half minutes, Owen McGrath, it's the old boys, the old kids on the block, and old Joel O'Cusick was just centimetres away from stopping it, but the power of it was magnificent, and it is Dan the man.
Yeah, Marty, you have to credit. I said Owen McGrath made a mistake for a lovely little flick on, and Shanahan hit the ball on the ground. I was just going to say before, the very little ground hurling on an evening like this, where the ball will fly off the greasy surface. Great little ball flick in by Owen McGrath, and a great like Dan did the right thing. He hit it low. I thought he should have carried it a bit further. Wasn't it? It just skidded off the ground. He kept it low and into the net, and Ken McGrath brought on there as well. Now a huge lift all round to Waterford.
Is Davy Fitzgerald about to guide Waterford to a Munster title? Remember, as Michael was saying, the winners will be avoiding Kilkenny in an All-Ireland semi-final. The losers will have to face a qualifier next Sunday, and fatigue and tiredness going to be a factor. Can Cork respond? Waterford now, full of confidence. Over for his own Kelly. Just outside his own half of the field. He's given it absolutely everything. And I'm afraid it's right and wide. 4 points between the teams. 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, look at this again, Brick Walsh. Like, he's certainly given away 3 or 4 inches to Michael Cusson, but he's fielding throughout the game. A brilliant catch there by John Gardner as well.
Ball sent in fast towards Isaki. Knocked away. There's Luke O'Farrell trying to make an angle. Sent in across the face of the goal. Cody O'Sullivan chasing after it. So too is Isaki O'Halpine, with Richie Foley with him, right beside him. Who touched it last? Umpire says Isaki O'Halpine. And I have a feeling it's the right call.
Yeah, I got it right, yeah. Yeah, just off his boot, yeah. But fantastic, we said it before the game, maybe the Waterford bench, the likes of Dan Morris, Shanahan, Ken McGrath, really top class players we have to bring off the bench, and you saw 2 of them combining there for the goal, and Owen McGrath, of course.
It's 9:15 on a Saturday night, and while many people, traditionalists, might feel replays for Munster finals should only be on a Sunday, this second half is certainly an indication of perhaps maybe the future, because this is looking good. A wonderful arena under floodlights, Cork and Waterford in the second period of extra time. Cathal Naughton picking up a knock. Referee has blown his whistle, and he's going to show perhaps a yellow card, at least a finger wagging. There's more than that on the way, I think, for Tony Brown. Yellow card for the right half back.
Yeah, Marty, crucial free here again. I know it's been a low scoring game, and 4 points is a good lead, but if we can put this over the bar, 3 points, it's only puck at the ball, and it's not over yet.
Ben O'Connor has already scored a goal and 4 points in the replay. Happy to take the point here. 3 points between the teams. 4 minutes left. Did I say mist earlier? Correction. It is now pouring out of the heavens. But there's nobody in the 22,000 attendants leaving Semple Stadium. It might have been dull and uneventful first half. Plenty to talk about in the second. Waterford protest vehemently to the Wexford linesman. And Davy Fitzgerald would be well advised to stay away from the linesman at this stage and let the game continue. Who got the last touch?
I think it was Owen McGrath off his hurling. I think the linesman got it right, but whether he's right or wrong.
The linesman is right.
Yeah, but this type of thing is crazy. Roaring and falling at a linesman like that. He's only out there doing a job.
Well, it takes a lot of courage, because he's there on his own. And passions are high. Good work by Jamie Nagle. Distance is what it's all about. Owen Cadigan never took his eye off it. Dan the man tried to scoop it up. Cadigan is there once more. Bursting forward is Tom Kenny. Runs kindly for Cathal Naughton. Cork need to score here, and they need a goal. A point is no good. Cody Sullivan. Tony Brown swings it back down into Cork territory. Up comes John Gardner. Ball falls kindly for Tom Kenny. Tries to burst past 2 Waterford players. One of them is Owen Kelly. Free to Cork. 17 and a half minutes played. 2.5 to go. John Gardner knows well that he has to drop it in. Isaki O'Halpine goes up for it. Backs to the wall as Waterford defend. Noel Connors tries to scoop it up. Comes back out for Tony Brown. flicks it down that right wing, down towards Shanahan. One here by Brian Murphy. Cathal Naughton says leave it. Goes around the scenic route, makes an angle. Happy perhaps to drop this one in again towards Isaki. Not a great ball to the left of the post. Great fielding by Tony Brown. Nowhere to go. Hand passed outside. Comes out for his Declan Prendergast and he relieves the pressure. Tom Kenny says leave it. Which Ray Ryan does. Sideline ball for Cork. Davy Fitzgerald, anxious, tense along the sideline. Well won by Michael Cusson. This is a far better ball. Here comes Isaki. Needed to get it first time. Jamie Nagle, Tony Brown there. Nagle takes control. Whips it down the middle. Nobody there in a white jersey. Ray Ryan is there. Flicks it forward for his Cathal Naughton. Not a great ball. Has to control it, turn. Drops this in again. It's a poor quality. Should be easy for Brick Walsh. Lays it out just a little bit. Out for his own Kelly. He's the left half forward and look where he is. Playing almost right corner back. Down towards Dan Shanahan. Tom Kenny. Lovely control. Slipper now in hand. Hand passes it across to Brian Murphy. Lovely little dummy. Referee blows his whistle. Free to Cork. And Owen McGrath, indeed's name is going to be mentioned.
I just think Waterford obviously got very defensive. They're all behind the ball, and they're putting themselves under fierce pressure. They've nobody left up the field to win the ball in the half forward line, and it's a dangerous way to be playing. But this is more than likely the last chance Cork are going to have.
Less than 30 seconds to go. 1 minute of additional time. The atmosphere around Semple Stadium is as good as a Sunday afternoon. It's 9:20.
Well, you have the real supporters here, Marty. That's why.
Dropping in, it's gone again to the left. It needed to be around the goalpost. Out comes Tony Brown to control it before it goes over the end line. Whipped down the field again, down towards Dan Shanahan, out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Cork. 20 minutes have been played. We're into injury time in the second period of extra time. What can Cork do? Can they produce something from this sideline? Is the Munster Championship Cup, is the Munster title going to Waterford for the 9th time? Owen McGrath is back there. Hooked this time by Michael Cusson. Can he do something? Here's Naughton. Has to be lobbed in. It's the last for Niall McCarthy. They're working in. Naughton with the shot. Blocked this time. And out over the sideline for another line ball for Cork. The rain is pouring down. The Waterford subs and mentors, everybody is along the sideline. They can hardly watch. The referee has blown his whistle. But there's a Cork man down injured. Waterford man, is it?
I think it could be Tony Brown, yeah. It is. He dived in there full length over Cathal Naughton, probably got hit with the ball, I'd say.
Seems to have a red mark, some blood there in his arm as well.
Yeah, he was very brave. I might get a chance to look at it again here. You just see the ball come into Cathal Naughton. Watch Tony Brown. Ball hit him straight into the face there, yeah.
This is it. This is the moment. We're into injury time. We've 16, almost 20 seconds of injury time played. 40 seconds left. Ben O'Connor floats it in. Who can get there? Whipped away. Down the field again. The referee blows the full-time whistle. And Waterford are Munster champions. Dan the man is the hero. He's the one that got the goal. Last Sunday was Tony Brown at 37 years of age that got the equaliser that forced the replay. It's the old kids on the block that have done it for the Daishies, combined with a cocktail of young fellas, managed by a man from Clare from 6 Mile Bridge. Put it all together and you have Waterford's 9th Munster title. What a battle.
Yeah, Marty, it's a fantastic, historic win. Extra time under lights in Thurles, the spiritual home of hurling, I suppose, and fantastic with heart and determination. Tony Brown epitomised it there in the second half of extra time. Brick Walsh, players like that, absolutely outstanding. And how ironic that Dan Shanahan, the man who scored so many goals here against Cork and in Munster finals, gets the winning goal. And fantastic, well done to Waterford. And it'll be tough for Cork next Sunday now to come back.
Waterford's first title in 1938, their last in 2007, and here tonight in Semple Stadium, Thurles, on a historic night under floodlights, it's Waterford 116, Cork 113. Waterford are champions.